Oh, wait a minute.
All right.
Welcome back. Second hour, whole new video. Thanks for coming back and tuning in with us again. Just a Bit Outside Radio Show on HitsRadio.com. We're sitting here with the coach, Donte Samuel.
Second time around.
That was pretty smooth.
So, again, for the people who might be coming in for the first time, Donte, if you could just reintroduce yourself.
My name is Hope. Okay. My name is Coach Donte Samuel, owner of Game On Fitness and Tage Trades. I'm the health and wellness teacher at Belmont Elementary School.
I think that's the first time tonight, too.
Yeah, this is to let us know how great we're doing.
Absolutely. Well. What a night. We hear the sirens going and blasting, and we also see all this beautiful
merch,
swagalicious. Take a look at that.
Y'all know we love when they come bearing gifts. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I want to come bearing gifts instead of bearing a hard time and
hot breath.
That's right.
As you can see, we got socks, we got the hats, we got the what is this right here? This is the phone charger hookup.
That is the phone charger.
Got the Game On Fitness right there. I mean, he's official. We got the tank tops. Oh, and the book bags. So you full
merch.
Yes, full merch.
Full merch. Call me Cable for my nerds out there.
All right, I'm gonna take my pick. Gosh, I'm a sock kind of gal.
I thought this was.
I was about to say yes, and you know how much I love the Orioles.
You love the Orioles.
Yes.
Let's open it up. Why, shall we? Okay. You take a look-see right there. It has the fitness, has the Game On, has the size on the inside, and it's made in the USA. I was born. Okay, here we go. The 12 represents the day I was born, not that loser of the New England.
Oh, shots fired. That's what we do.
Burn.
He just lost his favorite target, so you know.
Yeah. So I love these. I'm gonna take these. Yeah. I can see me wearing these to opening day. Honestly, next week.
Make sure you do. Make sure you do. Hope all is well.
Yeah. What about you, Mark? What you? I knew you were gonna. I knew it.
The moment that came out of the bag, I'm like, that's
mine. Right. And you know, I gotta tell you, Mark is so humble and such a gentleman. He let me pick first. But I know in the back of his mind, he was like, that bitch better not take that blue hat.
I would just gave him mine off the top. It is blue, right? Okay.
So, we appreciate the merch and everything. In a few minutes that we have left, let's quickly go through. What does Coach have coming up?
Oh, wow. So tomorrow morning on Fox 45, Hometown Hotspot, they will be coming out to Belmont Elementary School. And they're going to have segments at 6:15, 7:24, 8:24, and 9:10 a.m. So that's 6:15 a.m., 7:24, 8:24, 9:10 a.m. Yep. So that's the one that's coming up there. Yep.
All right. Cool. And
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go for it.
And my free group workouts every Saturday, 1406 North Elamont Street. That's Belmont Elementary School. So for the last 7 years, 7 years I've been giving, 8 years. Last 8 years I give a free group workout on Saturdays. If you follow my page, then you can follow what we do. We have hundreds of videos loaded up.
All right, for all of our social media heads, how can people find you, contact you, follow you, stalk you?
All right. So Instagram at Coach Donte. That's Donte, the best way to spell it. Also at Game On Fitness, that's with 3 S's. Someone beat me to it. Now, Twitter at Coach Donte, Game On Fitness, and Facebook, Donte the Coach, that's DACOACH, Samuel on Facebook, and the Coaches Arena. The Coaches Arena, that's my sports page. Yep.
All right, so really quickly, we're going to get your little analysis because we said, we talked offline. You said you did watch a little bit of college basketball. We got the Sweet 16 starting. We went through 2 very exciting rounds. I mean, what a great first day of, Thursday and Friday. I mean, just watching basketball all day from like 12 to 12 was just really amazing. And we had some really good games.
I knew you were biting your nails on that Virginia game.
Oh my God. Like, I was biting my nails a couple of times over the weekend. But of the remaining teams left, who do you think has the biggest shot? Because, I mean, honestly, after watching that Duke game yesterday, I do not know if they have what it takes to go all the way. And I picked them to win the championship. That was scary as shit yesterday for me. The big Duke fan. Big Duke fan.
You're a Duke fan, huh?
Yes, yes, I am.
Yeah, they look, I mean, well, they can regroup. Zion has new shoes on, so apparently, is it Tuesday? I'm sorry. Right.
Yeah, so you still think Duke can get it done?
I don't see, I mean, of course, anyone can lose, but I want to see what that next game does. If that next game, they're pretty decent. I don't see why they won't be crowned the champions for this year.
All right. What are you looking at? Who are you looking at?
I'm sticking with my pick, Gonzaga.
Yeah. Really? Yeah, they were looking pretty impressive.
They whooped the hell out of Farley Dickinson in that first round.
Yeah, they did. They did. And, I watched their entry level game, entry round game.
Yeah.
And I was pretty impressed with the way they played. But, the Zags have been rolling, and that's they're a pretty decent established program in comparison to Dickinson. But who else I was kind of surprised with? Oregon.
I had them down here. Yeah, something to talk about.
They're looking good as well, and I'm kind of giving them the side eye, man. You know what I mean? Like, they might creep up in there also.
You know what's crazy about them is before the Pac-12 tournament, they weren't going to go to the dance.
Really?
They won the Pac-12 tournament, got that automatic bid.
One out.
And here they are, Sweet 16.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Fantastic. We'll definitely keep an eye on them.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah, yeah. So I think we got two Blue Devils in the house, and then we got 1 Bulldog. So I guess we'll see how things will shake out over the weekend, man. Get down to on the road to the Final Four.
Yeah, and in our bracket contest, Jay Smokescreen is on the at the bottom. But special shout out to last week's guest, Freddie Newman, who held that last spot down for the whole weekend up until late last night.
Yo, Freddie is gonna kill you. Hey, Freddie.
Last week,
hold the bottom down.
Last week, she's like, "This is the best time of year." She's such a huge fan.
Yeah.
She's exuberant.
Oh.
And we expected so much out of you, Freddie.
Yo, I ain't even gonna lie. Like, when I was filling out my brackets, I was thinking about the previous show, and I was like, man, somebody was really pumped about New Mexico, so I had New Mexico going like a very long way. Let me just say a very long way, and they lost in the first round. Thank you, Freddie. But shout out to Freddie, man, for participating, and everybody that's participating in this year's tournament challenge with ESPN and the show, man. Who's in first place right now? Is it you?
First place.
God.
And the potential points, I'm like way above everyone else right now. It's like 1790 to 1710.
Oh man, I was hanging in there for a minute, and then I don't know, all holy hell broke loose. And I was talking about it last night. I think I took too many chances on the second round. Like, I took sufficient amount of chances on the first round, and they all worked out. And I was even impressed with myself. But when that second round, that rolled around, them Saturday, Sunday games, I was like, fuck.
On that first round, I picked Oregon, I picked UC Irvine, and I was like kind of nervous about that, but then like they both won.
Yeah.
But what I'm really shocked about for me, because I always like have a portion of the bracket just crap to bed.
Oh.
Yeah.
But in the Sweet 16, I have at least one in every game.
Really?
And usually I don't do that. So
that's pretty awesome.
I'm looking pretty good.
So you can still win outright on that.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. All right, you guys, we got a few minutes left with the coach. And you know how we like to end our interviews with the Just a Bit Outside Fave 5. What we do is we give our guests the topic, and they give us their favorite 5 on the topic. Since we've been talking about the coach and getting pumped and fitness with the kids and everything, we would like to know, Coach, what are your favorite 5 songs to use to get the kids pumped?
The chicken nugget song, they absolutely love it. Chicken nugget, yeah. People are just scrambling to YouTube like, let me go over and get it. Move to the beat.
Okay.
They love Little Pump. They love Chilled Cow. They love any type of club music, and most definitely that 5th one, not to ride the fence there, but it can shift at any moment. Like they might, hey coach, I want you to play this. No, I want you to play that. Play Money Man. I'm like, we can't play Money Man, but they love certain things, and it generally shifts around.
All right, dig it. So one more time for the culture, let us know how they can get in contact with you, how they can follow you, Coach.
All right, on Facebook, it's Donte the Coach Samuel. As far as my Game on Fitness page for Facebook, it's The Coach's Arena. On Instagram, it's @Coach Donte, that's DONTE. And Game on Fitness with 3 S's. Twitter, same thing, Coach Donte, Game on Fitness.
All right, thanks a lot for your time, Coach. We really appreciate it.
Go O's!
Yeah! And I'll be seeing you hopefully this spring, man. Because I mean, we've gone to a game or 2 before.
Yeah, of course, we can do that.
We got to do that again.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for your time, Coach. Appreciate you, baby.
Be
hey, you
well.
guys, don't go anywhere when we come back. We got Konjur Collective in the building, man. We're going to chop it up with them. Take it just a bit outside, so don't go anywhere.
This is a Poverty ENT exclusive. Next stop, Texaco. Strapped up, you already know. Fuck niggas hate, that's how it goes. Bros with me, yeah, it's time to go. That's how it goes. Bros with me, yeah, it's time to go. I'm a real nigga that I deal with. You see my past issues, make me blast pistols. I'm trying to chill, shorty, I'll be back shortly. Gotta hit the trap till I count to 40. Got a show to do it, and I ain't used to it. But I'ma stunt hard to put some juice to it. Get my shine on, cause my grind long. Got bros with me, fuck up your city. Got my mind strong, taking time bomb. Fuck a pot, I'd rather back the kitty. I don't want the city, don't call me Diddy. Yeah, I rap my city, ready to show them something they ain't ready for. Make a voice firm so you can't ignore it. Talking shit like I'm fixing toilets. Shag a rhythm, I can see me torn. Horn cuffs, shades on, shirt off, strapped up, Molly down, blowing strong, ride around. The demonstration hold 50 rounds. I'm a fool with it. Got ratchet niggas that's cool with it. You got a cold heart till that ooh hit it. Stop fucking with me. Got my mind set. See my mind state is at a high rate. Next stop, Texaco. Strapped up, you already know. Fuck niggas hate, that's how it goes. Bros with me, yeah, it's time to go.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a shelter or adoptable pets near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard? Well, that's entirely up to you. Visit theshelterpetproject.org and hear more about Hamilton the Pug, Toast, and Keyboard Cat's amazing adoption stories. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Your perfect pet is just a click away at theshelterpetproject.org.
So they said she wouldn't, so they didn't know if she had a weapon. So it's just a mess. So yeah, you do have to have these discussions with your children.
You do, and you have to make them aware of that there is an enemy out there. Every time the police pull you over, or every time you have an interaction with the police as a black person, you are at risk of being in front of your enemy. Hopefully, it's not a police officer that wants to demonstrate that he's your enemy, but we all see it's a high probability of that being the case. So if we're not talking to our children do not have the coping mechanisms to deal with these type of intense situations. What they're going to do is what most of us do as black people, me and anyone else, which is become emotional. And that is the trigger point for the police. They know that black people are emotional people. So when they arrive on the scene, they are purposely trying to say and do things to you to get your emotions up, right? And then once they get your emotions up, then it's like, oh, that's what we needed. Now we're gonna kick your ass. You know what I'm saying? Gotcha. You know, so I'm saying we need to have these discussions with our children, you know, and make them understand in this day and age, and it's every day and age really, but we'll just say this day and age for the sake of it being so prevalent on social media, like you have to understand what you're getting yourself into. And I think a lot of us as black people are just scared to still tell our children that there are a group of people out here that are your enemies.
Join us every Monday at 12 noon for Black by Demand radio show, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
You're like an internal bleeder. Can't see your pain, but it can silently kill ya. So deeply wounded, but don't say a thing. Too afraid of what the people may say or think. So you just sit there and you suffer in silence. Your pride won't let you just uncover your secret. Don't wanna look weak in your image, it ain't worth losing. So you just act as if it's nothing happening. God sees you, and God hears you. Yes, God loves you. You're like an internal bleeder. Can't see your pain, but it can silently kill ya. Suicidal, depressed, but you won't say a thing. Too afraid of what the people may say or think. You feel alone even though the people surround you. Popping pills every night even though you know they can't solve it. The emotional pain, it just seems way too heavy. Your mind is racing, wanna scream, somebody help me. God sees you, and God hears you. Yes, God loves you. These type of people sit right under our noses. We don't find out till we're on IG scrolling. We post a few memes, but then it keeps on happening. Something's gotta change, we gotta start talking and telling the truth without the fear of judgment. Gotta come together and really start loving and heal these people cause they slowly dying. Help them believe that their life is worth living. We losing people too soon, they cutting and bleeding. They think no one cares, so I wrote this song to tell you, my God, he cares and he can heal you. He sees you when you're crying yourself to sleep, wondering if anybody hears me. You tell yourself you can't go on no more, but your life is worth fighting for. Don't leave this world too soon. There's so many people who really love you. Jesus is calling for you. He knows and he can heal you. I know you're hurting deep down inside, but my God, he came to give you life. You think no one cares, so you just sit there. I'm talking to you, get up from there. You gotta believe there's something better. So much better. God put purpose deep inside of you. The whole world is waiting for you. You.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing.
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
I love how social media has changed how the access we have to sports.
Yeah.
You know, like I keep up with boxing, not ESPN and all that, but through independent.
Welcome back, Just a Bit Outside Radio Show, BeExposedRadio.com. Check us out every week on Facebook, YouTube, 7 to 9 Mondays. Thank you to DJ Delight, Mike McMillan, for the tunes that he provides going into break, out to break. Obviously, I wanted to use that music as a segue to our next
I was just thinking that, like, Marcus, that's awesome, that's great.
Did you have some updates real quick, though?
Yeah, really quickly, as we were talking about the women's basketball tournament is going down. Syracuse is looking good. Notre Dame is continuing to be down. And Maryland is also continuing to hang in there. So, you know, we'll keep an eye on that. We'll continue to update on those scores as we go along. But as you can see, I am clearly outnumbered right now. With all of these guys in here. But I am so happy to have these gentlemen from the musical band Konjur Collective. And I will let them introduce themselves, starting with my immediate right. We have Jamal here.
Jamal Moore, woodwinds and percussion, born and raised Baltimore, Maryland, international artist.
Okay, let me just say something. The percussion, the drummers is always the hardcore, cast member of the band, and he totally just took that. I mean, I was just like, he was real about his. You know who the drummer is of this band. Percussion, stand up. All right, next we have.
I'm Bashi Rose, born and raised in Baltimore, Park Heights, West Side. I play the drum kit in Konjur Collective, also band leader, arranger.
Oh, and I am Aaron Brown. I am not from Baltimore. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana, but I'm living in Baltimore now, and I play bass, I sing, I rap, and many other things among them. Yeah.
Okay, so since you're the outsider of the group, how did you get to Baltimore by way of Indianapolis?
It has been a long journey, but I guess the short story is I went to Howard University for school, and I came to Baltimore one summer to work for NIH at the Johns Hopkins campus, and I met this wonderful young lady, and we've been together ever since.
Okay, so now we know how he stayed here. We know how he got here, but now we know why he stayed here.
It's always the women that hook you into Baltimore.
I'm telling you, you know, it's so funny when people get here, when we talk about people that come from like out of town, It's always somebody, right? I wasn't even going to go there. I was going to say, it's always somebody that keeps them here, man. Baltimore will get your clutches up in you and then they won't let you go.
That's right.
I don't know if that's the gift or the curse. So, how did you guys, like, come together? How did you guys meet? I mean, because it sounds like you kind of were in, like, different circles a little bit. I mean, he was doing, like, the Hopkins thing, and you guys were in your own circles. How did you guys meet and come together?
So, my partner, Michelle Rodwell, who co-founded Konjur Collective with me, we had been jamming together. And I was aware, my friend Jake, who's also a member of the band, I think they met out in California.
Yeah.
They met in California.
I was on tour in Oakland.
Yeah. And when I visited Jake in San Francisco, I was doing a video gig. I'm a filmmaker as well. And he told me about Jamal. So fast forward, Jake and I were back in Baltimore, and he took me to one of his gigs at the Crown, I think it was.
No, the Wind Up Space.
Wind Up Space. Yeah. This is another band called Ancestral Duo.
Okay. Ancestral Duo, yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, man, I would love to play with this brother. And come to find out, I was scoring a short film I was working on, and a pianist by the name of Lafayette Gilchrist. I asked him if he would help score it with me. So I sent him some of the footage. So we organized a jam session. And who shows up at the jam session? Jamal. And that's how we started.
Up the sticks, and the rest is just history.
Yeah. Well, he was playing the horn that day. Among other things. He's a
woodwinds and percussion.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
So, since you're kind of a multifaceted kind of guy, what do you prefer? Do you prefer the woodwinds or do you prefer the percussion?
See, that's the $1 million question.
Yeah.
No, everything is balanced.
Really?
I don't have a preference of, everybody, oh man, you play so many horns, what's your favorite horn?
Right.
Oh man, what's your favorite drum, man? It's like Baskin Robbins 31 flavors. They all have their purpose.
You just dip in all of them, scoop it up. Okay. All right, so let me ask you this. Is it tough for you to transition between playing percussion to going to like horn or?
No, not at all. I've been doing this since childhood. So
really?
Nah, because the percussion aspect comes out of the historical drum community here called Park Vibe Drum Circle, which many are familiar with. That's in Drury Hill Park that meets every Sunday. And within there, there's a lot of master musicians who pass through the circle, some who are internationally acclaimed, others who are just local based. And so coming through there and being enculturated through that community and the black arts community here in Baltimore through my parents and everyone like that, I started out playing percussion. And then I eventually wanted to get into horn. And so I got into initially playing clarinet in elementary school, moving into pre-body preparatory, then transitioning to clarinet through junior high school to saxophone through high school, and then post just playing locally in Baltimore before I left to go to undergrad, which I went to Berkeley College of Music, and then years later to California Institute of Arts for graduate school.
Fantastic. Yeah. Wow. So what genre would you classify your music as?
I would say free spiritual black music.
I see.
I agree with that. It's like we got like African, just like soul, just like funk, just like we really got a little bit of every just like thing in there. I believe, So I think it is like very like free black music.
Dig it, dig it. Amen. So a lot of people like to ask bands, musicians, what their influences were, what they were into prior to, making your own music. Could we kind of, give each of you a few seconds to say, who are you most influenced by, or, who do you feel like you may channel or whatever when you're doing your music? Start with you.
I have a lot of influence from like a lot of neo soul when I was growing up. I know a big influence in like my lyricism might come from like a Andre 3000 or a Erykah Badu. I know from like my bass playing, I was really inspired like by Bootsy Collins growing up. I love his style. I love the way he kind of innovated music. I love James Brown, Michael Jackson, just so many influences, But I am like the sum of my experiences. So it's just kind of everything blended together.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, as far as drummers, of course, Elvin Jones, Fela Kuti's drummer, Tony his brother's name, catching the brain fart. But yeah, Fela Kuti's drummer, Max Roach, free jazz in general, and of course hip hop. My mother's side of the family is from Trinidad, so also influenced by old school calypso especially. And then I'm also ideologically mostly from like the black arts movement. You know what I'm saying? The ideas of creating art from a spiritual and political perspective, and art that challenges, you know what I'm saying, injustice, art that challenges white supremacy. So all those things combined like go into what comes out of me musically.
I mean, I agree off the last part he said. In life, there are no specific favorite artists, but in my household growing up, we listened to everything. So we had anything from soul, doo-wop in the 50s and 60s to black avant-garde, you know, to world music, which is broken down into the African diaspora, what we're doing with the Caribbean or the continent itself. I had all that in the household growing up.
Word.
So I had a multitude of everything, being exposed to all that. And all that takes an influence, and then years later get into my own personal studies, advancing and going further with it, tying into the research, which I'm continuously working on as we presently speak. And part of the last album that just dropped last year, dealing specifically with the black arts movement that took place in social politically, going all the way back to early 1900s or 20th century.
So how long have you guys been playing together?
It's about a year and a half.
Year and a half?
Yeah. Just started out jamming and just evolved into a band.
And you said you guys have already put an album together?
No, that's the album I put together, but we're in the process of putting an album together as a band.
Okay, all right, fantastic, fantastic. So where are you guys playing next?
At the Baltimore Creative Alliance on this Friday, March 29th at 8 p.m. And we're opening for Nora Mint Semali. She's a Mauritanian griot from Mauritania. So she's going to be singing, and her husband plays electric guitar. Fantastic. So we're honored to be opening for them. And included with the tickets is free food, Mediterranean / Yemeni food. So yeah.
Sounds like my kind of show for real. Well, I know how much we love food over here. We get to that. So, really quickly, you know, Bashi, we've talked a little bit offline about your love for boxing.
Yes.
And, you know, I think you said you watched the boxing match over this weekend?
Yeah, it was like almost two weekends ago. Yeah, Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia.
Okay.
As a welterweight championship bout took place down in Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
And well, you know, Errol Spence is one of my favorite fighters. You know, so he's like in the tradition of like Sugar Ray Leonard. You know what I'm saying? As far as like balance of technique, power, heart, drive, and except he's a southpaw, so he's left-handed. So the whole thing with that fight was Mikey Garcia moved up 2 weight classes to fight him. But the thing with Mikey Garcia, he was saying that he was more of a skilled boxer than Errol Spence. So people were saying that Errol Spence was just going to plod him and just, you know, overpower him and use his weight. What Errol Spence ended up doing was outboxing him for 12 rounds. I never seen Errol Spence use the shoulder roll. I mean, he couldn't even hit Errol Spence up close, mid-range, anything. And like maybe like the last 3 rounds, that's when Spence tried to knock him out. But I give it to Mikey Garcia. He held his own.
Shoulder roll as good as Floyd's?
That was my first time seeing him doing it. I'll have to see him in more fights to see if it's as good as Floyd's. I have to see him with better competition to see. But it looked damn good. Like, really? Yeah.
So who's your favorite boxer of all time?
Favorite boxer of all time, I would have to say it's hard. It's between Sugar Ray Robinson and Muhammad Ali. You know what I'm saying? I say Sugar Ray Robinson because the era of boxing, these guys fought over 200 fights. You know what I'm saying? The strain on their bodies and the mental and spiritual was just, you can't even compare what they went through to, you know. But as far as like Muhammad Ali, that balance of what he stood for politically, you know what I'm saying? I love that. I wish we had more of that, you know, in boxers now, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, those two.
Have you been following Tank and Truck?
Tank? Oh yeah. Oh, Tank is amazing. Another southpaw with power, skills. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to seeing him, you know, step up, you know, with the competition. You know, they're carefully, you know, guiding him along. So I don't know. The dude from DC, I forget the brother's name, real fast boxer. I'm catching the brain fart now. Maybe I'm nervous, but he called Tank out.
Okay.
So I'm hoping they end up fighting.
They end up fighting. Yeah, there's another guy out there called Truck. I can't remember his whole name right now, but he's trying to follow in the ranks of Tank. He's over there at the boxing gym on what's that, Utah?
On Utah?
Upton.
Upton. Yeah, that's where Tank is from. Oh, okay.
And he trains with Tank also.
Okay.
So everybody be on the lookout for Truck. I can't remember what his name is
okay.
right now.
You know what weight class?
God, what's below Tank?
Tank, that's like 126, 119.
So what is that like?
Feather. Flyweight, feather. Yeah.
I think it might be flyweight, but I think he's just below Tank. And you know, I'm desperately trying to get this guy on the show because he's really like he's just starting to get into that. So you know, be on the lookout for that. You guys, so we have this thing that we do called Just a Bit Outside Fave 5, that we give our guests a topic and they give us the Fave 5 on the topic, right? So since you guys are musical guests and you know we love our music here at Just a Bit Outside, I'm gonna ask you guys, what 5 musical artists do you have in rotation right now? So we'll start with Bashi, or should I start with somebody else? Because you look deep in thought right now.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. Okay, so me.
Don't be shy. I'm for real.
Right. Who have I been listening to now? You know what? I've been listening to Vin Riker.
Okay.
And what he does is he'll take classic albums and pull out all the samples, play all the samples from the classic album. So last one I listened to was Jizz's album, Liquid Swords.
Oh yeah.
All the samples.
Coming back to what, like Howard Theater or something to perform Liquid Sword, like a 20th anniversary or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna look that up. Okay. I just saw J Electronica. J Electronica.
Okay.
My son, if I'm at playing it, then my son makes me play J Electronica. What else? Oh, the other album he did was Nas's Illmatic, all the samples. I keep going and going. That's not 5, but that's what, 3?
I need one more.
One more. The last thing I listened to, Fela Kuti.
Okay. All right, Jamal.
All right, myself.
That's right.
You can always learn from what you have done and laid down in the past. There's always new information.
I gotta say, out of all the musicians that we've had on the show, I think you're the first to actually say that.
Yeah. That's
like,
real. Yeah.
That's real talk.
I mean, the thing is, you just document all the years of the work you put in and just see the gradual process. So in rotation right now is myself, then I would say Pharoah Sanders, revisiting some of that material from an album called Black Unity. Julius Eastman, who I just learned was an African-American composer. All them years seeing his work, I never knew he was African-American. And he was an unsung composer, tragically died a certain way, being broke and everything, with his music not being documented. Checking out his stuff, kind of taking on the concepts of minimalism, things of that sort. That's 3. 4, Taylor McFerrin, which is Bobby McFerrin's son. Great artist, vocalist, well-rounded producer, instrumentalist, has an all-star cast of different artists on there on his album, like Robert Glasper, people like that, and different people on his album. He's a great, and listen to his earlier stuff he did before the main album, full-length album he just put out. And then of course, revisiting Madlib's instrumental side of Yesterday's New Quartet. And the album called Yesterday's Universe, right there.
Hey, and my man Andre, my engineer, he's feeling your list, dog. He's feeling your list.
You know, and that's one specific track that Madlib did, which is a revisit of or remake of a song by a group called The Tribe and Phil Ranlin, right there. And it's on like track 11 on that Yesterday's Universe album right there. Serious track. Yeah.
All right, the man with the instrument.
Yes, I had to go back.
Yeah.
I had to go back into my phone. I was like, what was I listening to? So what I'm looking at, I've been listening to a lot of No Name. There's this Harper that I like, Dorothy Ashby. I think she makes some beautiful music.
Yes.
I've been listening to a little Victor Wooten lately. I listened to Jid, his new album, the DiCaprio 2. that's pretty fire. And then there's this artist named Simba Lives Long, and I've been listening to a single he put out. So yeah, I just been, I listened to a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Just when I got the chance.
Fantastic. Definitely eclectic Fave 5 coming from all three. Very enjoyable. But you guys are about to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to get the guys from Konjur Collective to take us home. So don't go anywhere. Just a bit outside.
Hey, good interview.
Exchange Radio Show every Friday 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Saturday 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com. I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out. And
exactly.
Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it because I can't hold my tongue. And she wants to be this stylist, boutique, but you're not doing anything in that nature, and I can't take you seriously if you're not doing those things. And I understood why people didn't take me seriously, because I found myself in somebody else's lane. I was good at what I was doing and what I wanted to be, but I wasn't doing it for me. So how can I ask you to take me seriously if I'm living in somebody else's shoes?
And nobody can do what you do, and I think that that's a big problem that people face now. Like, you see what somebody else is doing and you want to do that when that's not your lane.
That's not your lane.
That's not what you're supposed to be doing.
But it's popular, it's getting that person money, it's getting that person applause. Oh, I want applause. I want money. Let me stand over here behind them.
And then a lot of times people aren't honest with themselves either. Like, I was thinking earlier today, I've been woke for almost 2 days, so so you get honesty, and I was thinking, like,
the Artist Exchange Radio Show.
Skirt, 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 skirt. Start, skirt, 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 start, start. I'll be up in the way. I'll be up in the way.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back to Spit Outside Radio Show, BeExposedRadio.com. Thank you for joining us each and every Monday. Thank you for Konjur Collective for coming in tonight. I'm just going to throw it to you so I can move and give some room.
Okay, look, y'all, this is all the time that we got for tonight. But before we go, I want to give these brothers a chance to let you know how you can locate them on social media, where you can follow them, stalk them, do the whole nine. So, social media.
You can reach me on Instagram, Bashi Rose, at Bashi Rose, and you can catch Konjur Collective on Instagram at Konjur Collective, Konjur with a K, KONJUR _ Collective.
You catch me under the name Sa, S-A-UNK-A-N-K-H, Jed, D-J-E-D, at gmail.com, email, or Sa-Unk-Jed Music, or Sa-Unk-Jed on Facebook.
Alright. You can find me on Instagram at Basic the Bassist, and I just put out an EP, so check it out.
Fantastic.
What's the name of it?
Indigo. Indigo is the name of the EP.
Yo, check out Indigo. You heard it here first, baby. Alright, so listen, you guys know this is all the time that you have for tonight. I would like to thank Donte, the coach, Samuel for Konjur, chopping it up with us. I'd like to thank the fellas, Konjur Collective. Tracy, baby, I owe you one.
Tracy.
Getting all the love. Listen, you guys, you know how we end the show. Baltimore, spread love, yo. I'm going to get the fellas to take us home.
Alright.
Shining sun, magic of everyone.
Be more right. Let your spirit shine. Be more right. Let your spirit shine. No limits. Our future is vast. We an ancient people with the glorious past. While they destroy the earth, we'll fight to make it last. Tear down the system, put them greedy whores on blast.
Is that cool?
Hey, man, that's the shit. Hey, we'll see y'all next week. Hey, vlog coming out on Wednesday. Just a bit outside. Check the show page, shorty. Have a good one. Oh! Great job, you guys. Thank you so much.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You want to start off?
I think I'll get it out of the way on a who's not.
Okay, do it.
The Orioles.
Right.
They got swept by the Royals. They lost 4 in a row, and the last 5 games have all been decided by 1 run. The game before, or the last game that they lost before the Royals was the Nationals, and it was Weeders, of course, won with a home run.
Hit the home run.
Right.
They were going into that National Series. It seemed like they were doing so well, and they just crapped out. They got that game postponed, so who knows when they're going to replay that or play that game. That's my first not for the night.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and weigh in on my who's not, and I'm going to talk about the San Diego Padres.
The Padres. That's okay. You just took my answer.
They're in last place in the NL West. They've lost 8 of their last 10. Their run differential is a negative 65, which is just horrible. So when you have, well, let me just talk about run differential a little bit. It's kind of like the
how much you're winning or losing your games by, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. It's like the margin of victory, kind of.
Right.
So when you're in a negative number, that means that you're.
Then your average game, you're losing
by a whole lot.
Right.
I mean, a number like negative 65, you know, this early in the season is pretty rough.
That's horrible.
Then the pitching numbers pretty much support this stat right here. I mean, the team ERA is